The 2025 MLB Mock Draft on the college baseball experience on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today with the promo code TCE SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. And we're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sports book available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. And the college baseball experience is also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. What is going on, everybody? College baseball fans, welcome into a 2025 MLB Mock Draft. My name is Noah Bieniek, aka 77, here from the College Baseball Experience from Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And I like doing this type of exercise each and every year, following some of the best high school prospects. Normally, I'm a college baseball fan. That's typically where a lot of my attention is during the spring. And then I catch back up with the high school prospects in the early summer. And this is kind of the one time where I do a lot of that type of research before I jump into preseason prep for the college baseball season. So, yeah, I mean, the MLB Draft Lottery just concluded on the evening of Tuesday, December 10th. I wrote an article that night yesterday. Couldn't fit this type of show into my schedule, but we're here December 12th, Thursday, to kind of run through all these names. I've got highlight clips for everybody, little blurbs. I'll be basically reading directly from the article. It's a great article. If you're not watching on YouTube, I recommend it because some of the tweets that I'll be displaying are from people that have actually seen these players in person. I have not been around to many of the high school guys, but quite a few of the college guys I have not seen in person as well. But yeah, super fun exercise for me to do every single season. The MLB Draft Lottery this season determined the top 6 picks for this year's MLB Draft. The Washington Nationals were awarded the number 1 overall pick this year. And in saying that, Seattle, though, was the biggest winner. They had a 1.5% chance of landing a top 3 pick, and they did just that. They jumped up from number 17 overall to number 3 overall. St. Louis was another huge beneficiary from the lottery results this year as the Cardinals rose from 16 to number 5 overall. However, there are positives and there are negatives of the draft lotteries in professional sports, and both Miami and Colorado had a 22.5% chance to land the number 1 overall pick. The Rockies slid down to 4, and the Marlins fell as far as they possibly could, and they're now picking number 7 overall. This year has a little bit of extra sting for Rocktober fans, as it's now back-to-back seasons that Colorado had the best odds to land the number 1 overall pick, and they dropped out of the pole position. So that's tough for sure. Also, due to relatively new rules to discourage tanking, the MLB did not allow the Athletics or the Chicago White Sox to have a pick inside the top 9 in this year's MLB Draft. And also, the Mets, Yankees, and Dodgers spent more than $40 million over the luxury tax this season. All their first picks are falling 10 spots lower than they would have ended up during the final regular season order here. My overall thoughts on the 2025 MLB Draft class is that the high school class does not have that kind of, does not have a ton of top tier talent in the first round, in my opinion. There are some established college pitchers, but they are few and far in between. It's a limited commodity. in this year's first round. It gets a little bit deeper, I would say. But in 2025, the first round's likely going to be another college hitter heavy draft, just like it was in 2024. So that's kind of my sweet spot watching a lot of these guys. So at the top of the many big boards, you're going to see the typical, Texas A&M's five-tool talent, Jace Laviolette. Slightly behind him, maybe a pair of college arms and Jamie Arnold, Tyler Bremner. Ethan Holiday, who's the brother of Jackson, son of Matt, nephew of Oklahoma State baseball head coach Josh Holiday, is also going to probably be a top 5 pick as well. I didn't stray too far from the mean. We're about to jump into my order here after I finish this preamble. A cluster of college hitters featuring Brendan Summerhill, Cam Canarella, and Iva Arquette backfill the 99th percentile of talent here. The last thing that I'm going to mention before I get into the picks, I'm not an insider. I have no industry or team sources here. And plus, trying to drill every pick correctly is hard enough the day before the draft, let alone 7 months before the draft. Most MLB organizations tend to draft based off of their organizational strengths and not necessarily the best player available. So typically what I do with my first mock each and every single season is I kind of just slot players in based on different organizational strengths in the draft order and go from there. So before we get into this thing, download the SGPN app. It's completely free. You have access to all of our shows and all of our picks pages free wherever you get your apps, whether it be the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. And also, help us out here on YouTube. Click like, first of all, then hit subscribe. We're on a race to 15,000 subscribers before the new year. We are just 1.2K short. So go over there and click that for us. Now, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here. And how do I want to do this? I'll cancel this real quick. We're going to pull up a new window on my computer and get this thing rolling. Now I'll share screen. All right. Hopefully my computer doesn't blow up during this because I like the highlights in the show. So yeah, it started off with number 1 overall on my mock draft is Ethan Holiday. A shortstop as of right now, probably projects more as a third baseman. Plays for Stillwater High School over there in Oklahoma currently. With the Washington Nationals, they had the number one pick this year. Brad Cholik is the Nationals' new senior director of amateur scouting. He came from the Orioles organization, and they always took tooled out hitters early in drafts. The Nationals, they followed suit last year with Seaver King. And Cholik was also part of the O's collection of, that selected Jackson Holiday with the first overall pick in 2022. You'd have to believe some of the connections that he made with the family. He would probably love to select yet another Holiday as the first one climbed up the ranks pretty quickly in the minor leagues there. So Ethan Holiday, he is, in my opinion, the best high school player in the 2025 MLB draft class right now. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. Ethan is way more physical than Jackson. If you just take a look at some of these videos here and video clips that I'm showing here on the screen, big time raw power, crisp left-handed swing. Holiday is an advanced hitter who grew up obviously in that baseball family that I've already talked about, consistently making hard contact. And I think he'll be more of a power hitter than Jackson might project out to be here. For pick number 2 overall, this one's going to the Los Angeles Angels. The hot topic of whether or not the Angels draft strategy has worked out for them in the recent years here. Well, when you're drafted number 2 overall and you get the pick from, some of the best college and pro ready players like they have aimed for recently. Jace Laviolette of Texas A&M is going to be available based off of me having Ethan Holiday going number one. And Laviolette, this is my favorite player in the draft class for what it's worth. The Angels have selected 6 straight college players and 3 straight hitters with their most recent first round picks. Jace Laviolette already 6'6", 230 pounds, and a star in the Southeastern Conference. So there's not much projection left in this type of player, and that makes him a prime candidate to be LA's first round pick. Laviolette's super physical, possesses all 5 tools. It's a beautiful uppercut swing from the left-handed batter's box. He has 50 home runs through his first 2 college seasons, playing in the best conference there with most pitching talent for sure. During his sophomore year, Laviolette posted a 305 average and 1175 OPS. His above average speed and arm strength suggest he could probably stick in center field, or could he even handle right field at the next level here. Third overall, as I load up the next highlight clip here. Seattle Mariners are next up on the clock here. I am going to mock Seth Hernandez, a right-handed pitcher from Corona, California, the first of what could be 3 players from the same high school that could get drafted in the first round. We'll talk about another one in this show. I don't quite have Brady Ebel in my first round here, but Seth Hernandez, I think he is the most, the most well-rounded as of right now high school pitcher in this year's class. Seattle has selected a high school player with 9 of their last 14 first-round picks. Seth Hernandez, an elite charter academy product. He changed high schools for his senior year here, and he'll be playing for Corona, but he's a Vanderbilt commit as well. And I'm waiting for this video to load here on Twitter. Unfortunately, my computer might just piss me off this entire show, and we might not have highlights for a lot of these guys, unfortunately, because I'm going to zoom through this and keep the show as quick as possible. But Seth Hernandez is a very projectable 6'4", 190 pounds right-handed pitcher. He lands closed, finishes with long and a whippy arm action. Hernandez's fastball kind of sits in the low 90s with good ride, and he's got a really good bender, as you can see with that first pitch there. And he's got 2+ off-speed offerings, that bender right there, and also a changeup. So yes, I like Seth Hernandez quite a bit going into this year's draft. All right, loading up our 4th player here. All right. The Colorado Rockies are 4th up on the draft board here. And Jamie Arnold is going to be the player that I have mocked to the Rockies here. He's a left-handed pitcher out of Florida State. The Rockies have selected 5 straight college players with their first-round picks. Jamie Arnold would be the next best available college player on my big board. And he's a left-handed pitcher with a freaky arm slot. And Colorado's kind of fancied that lately. Sean Sullivan being one of the guys that they took, who has kind of this funky left-handed arm slot. And Jamie Arnold was wicked last year. He provides 2+ pitches right now, mid to high 90s fastball and a sweeper from that low left-handed arm slot here. Arnold attacks the top of the zone viciously with the fastball. His sweeper changeup off-speed duo can make hitters look foolish. And during his sophomore season, Arnold racked up 159 strikeouts, which was the 3rd most in Division I. He had an 11-3 record, 298 ERA, only 26 walks and 105.2 innings. It was a very, very, very solid campaign there for Jamie Arnold. 5th overall, as my computer fan just begins to just burn up. So we'll see how long this lasts. But like I said, I do like the video portion of this show as well. 5th overall, the St. Louis Cardinals are on the clock, and I'm going to have them selecting right-handed pitcher out of UC Santa Barbara, Tyler Bremner. St. Louis has selected 5 college pitchers in their last 10 first-round picks, so a good 50% sample size there with that trend. At 6'2", 190 pounds, Tyler Bremner is an explosive metric darling. Bremner features a mid to high 90s fastball with big inverted break, uh, induced vertical break on his fastball, a deceptive delivery that allows his fastball and changeup combo to play up here. He received an invite to play for USA Baseball Collegiate National Team after an 11-1, 254 ERA, 104 strikeout, 21 walk, 88.2 inning campaign during the 2024 season. So yeah, very also another very funky delivery here that is going to offer plenty of deception at the next level when he does play in the bigs or in the minors for sure. 6th overall on the after the lottery, the final team that landed a lottery spot was the Pittsburgh Pirates. They actually, I think, fell a spot though, but Pittsburgh hired away Boston's scouting director Justin Horowitz this past offseason. In recent years, the Red Sox have valued hitters much more than pitchers with their early selections, and Horowitz and the Pirates followed that suit in 2024, taking Connor Griffin. Xavier Nyans, a third baseman out of Mount Vernon, Washington. He's an Oregon State commit, would be my selection here. 6th overall for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Xavier Nyans is a projectable bat first profile here. He stands 6'4", 205 pounds with raw power, has shown a good feel for the barrel against older competition growing up here. And Nyans will play a corner, infield, or outfield position with a strong arm. He does still have a shot to be a serious pitching prospect. Nyans lives in the low 90s with a good slider. But ultimately, I think this crisp left-handed swing, as you're seeing here on the screen, that's probably going to keep him off the mound in the pros. 7th overall, the Miami Marlins. The poor Marlins fell from projected number 1 overall pick to losing in the lottery and, sliding all the way, sliding as far as they could possibly go. 7th overall. But I do have them selecting a very, very interesting prospect here. Cruz Schoolcraft. He's a left-handed pitcher / first baseman out of Sunset, Oregon. Miami definitely prefers the high school route in the first round. Under this scouting department, there has been a lean towards high school pitchers in recent years, and Cruz Schoolcraft is already a whopping 6'8" and has a fastball in the mid-90s. Out of this, another just weird left-handed slot. Like, he really dips down. He has a great stride length here. And the release point is just so close up to the batter here. He reclassified. He was originally going to be a 2026 draft prospect, but reclassified here, going into the MLB draft a year early. Just crazy. For his size, it's a good quick arm speed, good pitch arsenal as well to support a great fastball sitting in the mid 90s. He also, kind of has a wicked changeup that has sub 1000 RPM, which kind of is borderline acting like a knuckleball with characteristics there. So Schoolcraft swings a slurve in to put away left-handed pitchers. This poor kid in this highlight here is just no chance. Here it is. See ya. But the fastball is killer against right-handed hitting for sure. But I'm excited for this kid. This kid could be pretty lethal. It's 6'8" if he fills out that frame. 8th overall, the Toronto Blue Jays also fell out of the top 6 here during the lottery. And 6 of Toronto's last 10 round 1 picks have been college pitchers. Zach Root is my selection here for them. And this might seem like a little bit more out of the box. You haven't seen this name near the top 10 on any other mock drafts, but it's specifically to fit the organizational trend of 6 of the last 10 first round picks have been college pitchers. So a southpaw out of Arkansas. He was originally playing for East Carolina his first 2 seasons during college. This is yet another funky arm slot, especially from the left side. He would be the next college arm, in my opinion. Zach Root devoured AAC competition so far in his career at East Carolina. Like I said, he transferred into Arkansas for this upcoming 2025 season. Expect the Razorbacks pitching coach Matt Hobbs to just sculpt Root into another dominant lefty here. Last year, they had Hagen Smith go in the top 10 picks in the 2024 MLB draft. I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing could happen here with Zach Root. Root lives in the low to mid 90s with his fastball, but the arsenal features a plus slider, a plus change piece. The slider racked up both chase and whiff rates above 40%. And Root finished 2024 with a 6-2 record, a 3.56 ERA, 76 strikeouts, 21 walks in 68.1 innings. We've got 2 more picks inside the top 10 here. We move on to the Cincinnati Reds, who will be selecting 9th overall in the 2025 MLB draft. I have them taking Kyson Witherspoon, a right-handed pitcher out of Oklahoma, as Cincinnati has taken 3 straight college right-handed pitchers in the first round. So Kyson Witherspoon is an intriguing power pitcher from the Sooners program who can pepper in the high 90s with his fastball. He supports that heater with a hard slider and can throw a changeup and curveball consistently. But the command with the off speed could improve there. He mowed down Big 12 competition during his sophomore season. Witherspoon posted an 8-3 record, 3.71 ERA, 90 strikeouts, 40 walks in 80 innings pitched. We round out the top 10 with the Chicago White Sox. Like I said, due to trying to limit the tanking, the MLB forbid the White Sox of having a top 9 pick in this year's MLB draft. But I think the talent at the top when it comes to college hitting is going to be pretty damn good in this year's draft. And also a couple of the organizations in front of them don't really specialize or haven't really trended in drafting college hitters in the first round, or at least early in drafts, first 3 rounds or top 100 overall picks. Brendan Summerhill is an outfielder out of Arizona who I really like coming into this year. The White Sox have selected a college hitter with 9 of their last 12 first-round picks. And Summerhill is a pro prospect with a high floor. He has a super low whiff rate and impacts the ball with high exit velo. He's a lean 6'3", 195 pounds, as you can see here in this video. There's still a little bit of projection for some power in Summerhill's game here. He did post a 324 batting average, 950 OPS in the 2024 college season. He raked during the Cape Cod League. The potential for 5 tools should get Summerhill into 2025's first round, in my opinion, at least. Before we get to just outside the top 10, Underdog Fantasy has one of the biggest menus for all of sports. You can win up to 1000x with Underdog streaks. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. You can now use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. Sign up today with the promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick, plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. And the college baseball experience is also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities that are available on Rebet, and it's easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sports books may be restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. All right, we're back here on the college baseball experience. Myself, Noah Bieniek, running through a 2025 MLB mock draft. I'm going to check up on the chat real quick here. It is 11 a.m. I wasn't expecting too many live viewers here, but checking in with Overdue Sports, Will Massa. He goes, "You don't think the Nats will go with a pitcher? I know it would be really high for Bremner or Arnold, but I could see it. I mean, they could definitely relive up the top draft pick they had with Strasburg going pitcher. That was the talk of the town last year or 2 years ago with Skeens when the Nationals were up there. But overall, the Pirates outbid them, and they did have the more bonus pool money to do so. But I don't think they really pressed for Skeens. And yeah, he says Laviolette at LAA is a good fit. Wesley Krieger asking who went first. I mocked Ethan Holiday, the younger brother, but bigger in stature than Jackson Holiday, who was the first overall pick in 2022. And James Roberts said, "Have you even been to bed, brother, or is this your nightcap?" No, I did crash for a little bit last night. Thank you for checking in on my well-being. It is appreciated because I know a lot of people do know of my late nights with the college basketball experience. So producing that show, but I knew my Wi-Fi situation and my computer. I needed to do this without my parents when they're away from work. So even when they're home, their devices are connected to the Wi-Fi. So it just bogs down the computer and whatnot. But 11th overall, the Athletics. They've eliminated the Oakland, unfortunately. Please return a franchise to the city of Oakland, for crying out loud. Because as soon as they move out, and they're now the Sacramento Athletics, for all we know. Who knows what's going to happen with the Las Vegas Athletics? As soon as they move out, 1 year, they overpay for Luis Severino. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, Cam Kennarella is an outfielder from Clemson that I absolutely love. And the Athletics have had 9 round 1 picks in the last 8 years. They've selected 6 college hitters with those 9 picks. Cannarella has elite bat to ball skills with an outstanding eye at the plate. He has plus speed, great arm strength, and good power. There is path for Cannarella to be a true 5-tool player. He basically played the entire 24 season, needing labrum surgery after the 3rd weekend of play. During the rivalry series, he suffered a shoulder injury against South Carolina. He still batted 337 with a 978 OPS, 11 home runs with basically 1 fully functional arm. Cannarella, he's a bulldog, earns the label of my favorite player in the 2025 MLB draft class. And this highlight was honestly like the best play during last year's NCAA baseball tournament. Maybe you could describe it as a bad route, but a bad route turned into an incredible leaping play at the wall to rob a game-winning hit of the Florida Gators there in the top of the 10th inning. Or actually, no, it was the bottom of the 10th inning. Clemson, although they were playing on their home field, were the road team in that game. They could have been walked off had that ball hit the ground, and it did not because of that incredible catch. So, yeah, he's one of my favorite players in this year's draft class, 100%. 12th overall, the Texas Rangers are on the clock here, and I have them taking Indiana outfielder Devin Taylor. The general manager of the Rangers, Chris Young, has had a hand in selecting 4 straight college players in the first round of the MLB draft. Devin Taylor has lightning fast bat speed supported by an athletic frame. Scouts suggest that he has raw power, but I'm not sure how much projection there is left. As you can see, he's pretty filled out. He's already 6 foot 215, and in over 500 plate appearances in his college career through his first 2 seasons. He has a 338 batting average, a 1,096 OPS, 36 home runs. He's a great runner, and above average defender in the outfield, probably corner outfielder when it's all set and done. 13th overall, the San Francisco Giants are selecting here Buster Posey, the new new president of baseball operations here for the Giants. I have them taken. He's probably. I would take a guess on saying that he's going to rely heavily on their scouting department, and as most should. But Iva Arquette, it would be a perfect Pacific-based prospect for the Giants brass, who have probably had their eyes on him for quite a bit here. He's Hawaiian, grew up on the islands there. Also played his first 2 years of college baseball at the University of Washington. San Francisco has selected college players with 6 of their last 7 first-round picks, 4 of which have been position players. Iva Arquette is a 6'4", 220-pound shortstop. And played, he does a little bit of everything. He's an all-around player, has above average power and hit tools. He's a versatile fielder with a good arm. And like I said, that build, there might not be too much projection there, but plenty of it to go around at the next level for Iva Arquette. 14th overall, we have the Tampa Bay Rays on the clock here. And for the Rays, I had them taking Kason Cunningham, a 5'9", 175-pound shortstop from Johnson, Texas. The Rays were a little bit of a tough one for me to land on. They've taken hitters in 9 of their last 13 first-round picks. Of those 9, 5 were high school. So I leaned high school hitter here. And Cunningham has a quick, quiet left-handed swing. He was the MVP for the U18 Team USA, and he batted .417 in the World Cup qualifier. He is, just a speed demon, stolen base sleuth, has good arm strength that should allow him to stay at shortstop. It's a pure hit player. Projection with the ability to put the ball into all fields. Cunningham is committed to Texas Tech, so we'll see what happens with the NIL situation and possibly what he receives as a signing bonus and contract in the MLB with his bonus slot money, where he's potentially drafted. 15th overall, the Boston Red Sox. They've taken 4 middle infielders in 3 high school players of those 4 middle infielders with their last 5 first-round picks. So I had them taking another high school middle infielder. Eli Willits, the younger brother of Jackson Willits, the shortstop for Oklahoma currently, out of Fort Cobb, Broxton, Oklahoma. Eli Willits is 6'1", 165-pound, reclassified switch-hitting shortstop. Yes, that's a mouthful, but it all is correct. He could be the youngest player taken in the 2025 MLB Draft at 17 years and 7 months come draft day. Willits comes with an MLB bloodline, as his father Reggie played for the Yankees back in the day, and Eli is disciplined at the plate and makes consistent line drive to contact with great bat-to-ball skills. 16th overall, we get to another one of my personal favorites, and another guy that you might not be seeing on a ton of draft boards, but I do believe in the talent, and I think that he could shoot up draft boards this season because he had an injury during the 2024 season, his sophomore year. And the Minnesota Twins are selecting 16th, and they've taken a hitter with 11 of their last 13 first-round picks. 7 of the 11 were out of the college ranks. So, albeit I wouldn't say Nolan Schubert is tooled out, his bat-to-ball skills and metrics stand out from the rest. Schubert's bat absolutely carries this profile. It is plus power, plus hit for the Oklahoma State product. As you could see, he totally shits on this ball inside Arlington, Globe Life Park here, Globe Life Field. He's a real physical build, 6'5", 230. Schubert has some defensive questions, an average arm, so he's probably a corner outfielder when it's all said and done. But high-end exit velocities off his bat, silky smooth left-handed swing. During his sophomore season, he batted 370 with 1351 OPS, 23 home runs, and 194 WRC plus. And like I said, I think he missed, I think it was 10 games last year due to injury. So, and it was noticeable that Oklahoma State played like much worse without him. Their record with him healthy was much better than it was without. 17th overall, Chicago Cubs are next up to select in this mock draft here. And another name that's kind of fallen off draft boards. He was originally near the top here, but after a weird shoulder injury that ended his season last year, and still we have not heard whether or not he would be starting this season healthy here. Cam Leiter, right-handed pitcher out of Florida State. He's the cousin of Jack, nephew of Al, son of Mark. He lives, breathes, eats, and sleeps baseball. The Chicago Cubs, 5 of the last 8 round 1 selections have been college pitchers. Notably, they took Cade Horton after a mid-season bounce back from Tommy John surgery. He, during his final season during his draft year, came back during the season in May. He only pitched for basically 2 months before the draft, and his draft stock rose all the way up. I think the Cubs selected him at 8. I think if Cam Leiter were to not have a complete season, the Cubs still would maybe take a chance on his stock, maybe being a little bit lower than it should be here at 17 overall. Leiter's tall, 6'6", 218, possessing a mid to high 90s fastball here. The pitch repertoire is actually carried by 2+ breaking balls, a curveball, and a slider. Leiter made 7 starts in 2024 before that shoulder injury that wiped out his season. He tallied 56 strikeouts in 35 innings with only 22 walks and a 4.63 ERA. 18th overall, the Arizona Diamondbacks own that selection, and they've selected high school hitters with 7 of their last 12 round 1 picks. Meet Sean Gamble, a shortstop / outfielder out of IMG Academy, Florida. He has an all-around game. The Vanderbilt commit has a smooth left-handed swing. He controls the strike zone from an offensive approach, and he can do damage to all fields. Gamble is an above-average runner, which allows him to project well, whether it be shortstop position defensively or in center field. 19th overall, a very fun team during the draft season, is the Baltimore Orioles. I have them taking a guy with certainly with helium in his draft stock, and that's Ethan Conrad, an outfielder who played for Marist and recently transferred to Wake Forest for this upcoming 2025 season. In 8 straight drafts, Baltimore has selected just tooled out hitters, and Conrad, I think he's one of those guys. During his sophomore season at Marist, he hit 389 with an 1171 OPS, 9 bombs, and led the country with 13 triples. And all Conrad did was follow that up in the Cape Cod League with the second highest average in that league and OPS at 385 and 919, respectively. Now Conrad enters his junior year with Wake Forest, and the Demon Deacons ballpark could inflate some of those power numbers that are holding his profile back here. So that's something interesting to watch, as it's only like 300 and 305 down the left field and right field line, respectively, at the couch there where Wake Forest plays their home games in baseball. 20th overall, the Milwaukee Brewers own this pick, and I have them taking Henry Ford, a first baseman / outfielder out of Virginia. Matt Arnold is the new general manager of the Brewers, and the 2024 draft was uncharacteristic of the Brewers' normal hauls. I don't know what to expect from Milwaukee in 2025, so I'm using best available here. And Henry Ford consistently batted third on Virginia's College World Series team last season. He's a draft eligible sophomore. He's 6'5", 220 with good athleticism, and he possesses elite exit velocities, great bat speed. It's big time power from the right-handed batter's box. He had a 336 batting average, 1,006 OPS, 17 home runs during his freshman season in the ACC. Before we get to the 21st overall pick, let's take a quick break here and read an ad from our partners. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie has been running on SGPNs for years. Check out their new and improved website, great on mobile. Plus props for every game in the live dealer casino. Even new early cash out options. Head to MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And the College Baseball Experience's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money line spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model or copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, and Rhythm will build a model for you. You can now track props in the Rhythm app, and we're talking about NFL props, college basketball props, college football props, NBA props, NFL picks, college football picks, college basketball picks, NBA, NHL. Rhythm has it all. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, and we're home free here on the College Baseball Experience. My name is Noah Bieniek. We're running through a 2025 MLB Mock Draft here. Checking in on the live YouTube chat too, by the way, and going to sue the A's restrict revenue sharing if they didn't spend. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I wasn't too much into the weeds to know, but what I do know is that Ike Irish is a fucking stud. Grew up pretty much in my area here in southeastern Michigan. He's a catcher for Auburn, currently entering his junior season. The Houston Astros at 21 overall would be lucky to grab him. Houston has selected a college hitter with 6 of their last 8 picks in the first round. College catcher, a left-handed hitting power college catcher. Why not? Ike Irish is another power/hit first, defense second profile. Irish has a strong arm, but has faced some receiving questions throughout his college career at Auburn. Either way, it's plus power with great bat-to-ball skills. In 2 seasons, Irish compiled a 343 batting average, a 999 OPS, and 20 home runs. All right, let's have some fun. Let's go to the 22nd overall pick. This is a guy that I'm willing to bet has a great season here, and his draft stock is going to rise like crazy. Atlanta Braves are next up for what it's worth for this guy, and I have them mocked. I've Chase Shores mocked to the Atlanta Braves here. He's a right-handed pitcher out of LSU. 9 of Atlanta's last 11 first-round picks have been pitchers, 5 of them high school, but I wanted to fit Chase Shores here into the first 27 picks. Yes, 27 pick mock draft here for the first round. The Braves have loved to find arms with an elite pitch. You look at some guys like Hurston Waldrop had an elite split change. A couple of guys had elite fastballs. I believe Braylon Doty last year had a 3,000 RPM curveball that I think they grabbed. So yes, Chase Shore's fastball is elite, and he's 6'8", 240 pounds, one of the best power pitchers in this year's draft class, in my opinion. During his freshman season in 2023, Shores had Tommy John surgery, but he was up to 100 with arm side run on his heater, as you can see in this clip from fall ball action for LSU this fall. So back on the mound, he feels great. For his size, Shores is athletic. It's a 3/4 arm release, and he gets many, many whiffs. He uses a low 80s slider and upper 80s changeup to back up that money-making fastball. Very high on Chase Shores for the upcoming season, for what it's worth, on my part. I think LSU will be pretty good, and he's going to have a good he's going to play a good factor in it. Let's take off the number 23. The 23rd pick in this year's MLB draft is going to belong to the Kansas City Royals, and I have them taking Billy Carlson, a two-way shortstop / right-handed pitcher player out of Corona, California. Yes, this is the second kid from that high school, and he's a dual. So he'll play shortstop when Seth Hernandez, he's going to be a top 10 pick in this year's draft. You're going to have a stud shortstop, and then this kid can also pitch on the second day during the week of their 3-game set against whatever poor high school they're playing. Through 2 drafts with Kansas City, scouting director Brian Bridges hasn't really established a trend in the first round. 4 of their first 7 top 100 selections have been prep players. So last year, the Royals also selected a multi-talented Jack Caglione. So let's mock another two-way player to Kansas City. Why not? Billy Carlson is a legit shortstop, defensively terrific, and a good right-handed pitcher. As you can see from the highlight clip here, mid-90s fastball. He has a good mix of off speed with the curveball and a changeup as well. But defensively in the field is where he kind of shines here. He has good agility, a strong arm because of some of this mound prowess as well. And at the plate, Carlson has a line drive approach, good bat speed that could translate to raw power with some development, but that's probably his weakest part of his game, in my opinion. Definitely like him defensively at short or on the mound for sure, to utilize that strong arm. Let's go to number 24 overall. That's where you'll find my Detroit Tigers. The Tigers, for what it's worth, also relatively new front office. Scott Harris, president of baseball operations for the Tigers, has made now 3 first-round selections in his first 2 seasons with the Tigers. All 3 of them have been high school hitters. And he hails from the Giants organization, which values prep players highly. So Brock Sell is the pick here for my mock draft. He's out of Tokay, California. He's an outfielder or right-handed pitcher. Most believe that him at the plate hitting wise is kind of where his future could be most worthwhile, I would say, but definitely not set in stone. As a pitcher, I actually like his low slot right-handed arm angle. And he's got a slider and a changeup that directly support a good fastball. He stands at 6'1", 185 pounds, and he's projectable both on the mound and at the plate. At the plate, swinging the bat, it's a short swing, elite bat-to-ball skills. He's a Stanford commit, also a plus runner and above average defense in center field for Brock Sell. 25th overall belongs to the San Diego Padres, and they're always fun with the prep prospects, as they've drafted 12 prepsters with their last 14 first-round picks. I have mocked Lucas Franco or Franco. I don't know quite yet how to pronounce that last name, Franco or Franco. Lucas Franco, I'm going to go with. He's a shortstop out of Cinco Ranch, Texas. And he's a projectable hitter, 6'3", 170. If he puts on a little bit of weight, he could add some more power. He's smooth defensively, though, at shortstop. It's a long left-handed swing that could smoothen out over time with more development in his stature there. He makes good contact, great bat-to-ball skills, and like I said, could develop some power with development and strength. 26th overall, the penultimate selection here in the first mock draft for me this year. belongs to the Philadelphia Phillies, and I have them taking Gavin Feen, third baseman out of Great Oak, California, as Philly has picked a prep player with 6 straight first round selections. And after the summer showcase circuit, there were murmurs that Gavin Feen may have been the best prep hitter in the entire class. Feen even won MVP at the MLB High School All American game. Unfortunately, my video is buffering here as we just continue to spin loading this thing up on Twitter. Here we go. Feen's not an excellent runner, but as you can see from this swing here, plenty of power. um, there are a couple of nitpicks with Fiend. Like I said, not an excellent runner, not really a great defender either. It's an unusual stance in the batter's box as well. He holds his hands high, but still creates elite bat speed and consistently drives the baseball. So yeah, I do like Fiend quite a bit. And like I said, this summer he's been a late riser. One more time, point of contact there. Boom, see ya ball. 102 off the bat, 394 at carry, which was the new Team USA complex there. 27th overall, the final pick in this mock draft, going to the Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland has selected 8 hitters with their last 14 first round picks. It's been a really good mix. Their front office has notably had an affinity for middle infielders. So I went with a high school middle infielder here of Coy James. He's a solid all-around player out of Davie County, North Carolina. He's an Ole Miss commit, doesn't really rely much on power hitting. Kind of fits the Cleveland philosophy there. And he's got an advanced approach at the plate, good walk rates, ability to go to all fields. He has great hands at the shortstop position, projects well defensively there, probably going to stay long term at that position there. And yeah, that wraps up the mock draft portion of this show. 27 picks there. Like I said, I enjoy doing that exercise prior to me jumping in team by team for the college baseball season, which, by the way, I always say the preseason doesn't start until I get to see an odds board. We now have 4 sports books with preseason betting odds on the College World Series winner, the national champion in Division I NCAA baseball. We have betting odds from FanDuel, BetMGM, Bet Rivers, and Caesars. So go over there, check those out. I tweeted out a couple of screenshots from FanDuel. I think it was like top 20 that they had listed over there. So yes, I've already begun a little bit of my prep. Now I'm diving in head first after doing this player mock draft and kind of getting a feel for who's kind of expected to be the top tier talent. Before we get out of here, Jacob Thiessen on Twitter asks, could you do a draft projections post, such as giving picks at what number they'll be going, best bet for where guys go? Typically I don't bet the MLB draft because shit hits the fan during it. It's the least predictable draft in any of the professional sports. But plenty of mock draft content, plenty of graphics for draft prospects to come for sure, Jacob. So follow me over on Twitter at NoahB77_ for all of that content. You can follow this show over at TCE on SGPN because I'll be filtering it out, just a bunch of stuff as I continue to prep for first pitch Valentine's Day, February 14th. I cannot wait. I've been itching for the last couple of months to get some baseball back, baseball in general, but honestly, the Detroit Tigers from August to October kind of allowed me to scratch that itch, but the summer was I was missing it. So I can't wait to get back and start watching some ball again. It's where I thrive, and my most enjoyable, and definitely where I think my bread is buttered, I should say. But yeah, plenty of plans coming for this show. Expect at least one show throughout the off season per week now. I would even say to the point that we could even be doing a couple of 20-minute, 15-minute episodes almost semi daily. Um, and maybe even some SEC, ACC team previews. We'll see if the time fits in, because as I'm previewing all of these teams day by day, doing my prep and research, continuing to figure out new things, and as other people are doing the same, I pick and choose, some of that stuff. There's a lot of people providing great content and good research and work around, as a lot of these rosters haven't even been official and finalized yet, as we've still got players in the portal, because the portal for some reason opens in December once again. So it's mayhem, and we've already got betting odds out there, so the markets are moving, and I'm like, I don't even know these teams yet, guys. Like, what are we out here doing? There are, of course, quite a few teams that you can be bullish on, but when it goes 30 deep and you don't know all 30, 34, yeah, I don't tend to jump all the way in yet. Earliest we've seen betting odds. Great news for the growth in the game of college baseball, in my opinion, as you continue to get more casual sports fans into the game of college baseball. The growth of this thing, man, it's going to take off. I can't wait. Like, again, um, follow us, subscribe, wherever you're listening to this podcast or here on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. We're shooting for 15K subs prior to the new year here. This has been the College Baseball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. Adios, amigo.